So yeah, I've been away a while. I have no excuses. I had bills to pay, but I'm also lazy, and I'm also fat, but that's another problem altogether. In the meantime, however, between working and eating cupcakes, I thought about my next review and came up with this: the first edition Monster Manual. Why make fun of random encounters when I can just make fun of every encounter? I know. You're like, hey, not the first edition Monster Manual. It's sacred. It can't be bad. And I'm like, do you have eyes? Because if you do, look into his. Look at that dumb piece of shit. Now that drawing is proof they haven't worked out all the kinks yet. That drawing is proof they shouldn't even draw. Now, what I find interesting is this red dragon has black dragon wings, and I'm like, why? How did they fuck that up? It's a red dragon. The color of the wings is in its name, Red Dragon. But then I noticed there's a unicorn with a goatee and hairy armpits. And it all makes sense. It's meant to suck. There's also some troll getting swole using bone weights. And this thing, right here, with a bowl cut. And a giant turd. Oh shit, I didn't see the spider because of how shitty it is. Damn, this shit's awful. I mean, the art is bad, but it's better than my monster drawings. See, this is No Fuffit, and his name's dumb, but he also has long hair and like 1,000 dicks. He's just like a nutsack with dick spikes, basically. See how he gets 100 attacks per turn? That's because of all the knobs. And here I drew a dragon. It sucks because I'm bad at art. I also drew these today because I needed it for the joke and don't have my old hand-drawn monster manual, which is like 400 homebrew entries, but it was shittier than this. Even my childhood self knew it was bad and threw it out. But these are paid artists, so they have no excuse. So sure, the art sucks, but is the manual good? Well, I'll let you be the judge. Let's review each creature in the book, starting with the letter A, and see how it goes. And I'll do like a video for each block of letters. Yeah, exciting. So I like how it notes that they're proud of this, but I'm also proud of this. So who gives a shit of what you're proud of? So it starts off with this standard explanation of how things work. You know, armor class, hit points, this alien script about movement. You know, all the good stuff. And then they refer to everything as monsters. Even people. Because Gygax knew people are monsters. Now, think about every crappy fetch quest you ever did in D&D. It all goes the same way. Get Vanessa's shitty-ass gold ring back. It's stolen by goblins. So what do? You murder all the goblins, and their children, and their elderly, wiping out their race for a shitty gold ring that you can buy at any shop. But oh, I hear you now. I didn't kill the children. Yeah, you did, when you killed all their parents. Who's taking care of their babies now? Wolves. Every item in D&D is linked to genocide, and it's brutal. It's like, hey, remember ogres? No, you don't? Well, thank Orog and his Sword of Ogrebane. It's been in the family for generations, and now it's stolen and in the hands of orcs. About to become Orcsbane. You see, your groups are monsters, and if you still don't think so, go ahead and play a pacifist group and see how long that lasts. Yeah, they'll be killing each other by the end of the session. Also, if you have intelligence 21 plus, you're a super genius. I looked it up. There's no definition. So, enough side quests. Let's get to the main mission and look at our first monster in the manual. First we have Ariel's Servant, and it's an air elemental that can carry 10,000 pounds. Oh, I mean 10,000 gold pieces of weight. Damn, that's a strange unit of measure, right? Bring that back. You know how light I'd be in that weight format? Nothing. But in sacks of shit I'd break the scale. Next you have Arnkeg. They're bugs and brown. Like bugs. And I'm pretty sure I mispronounced the name. You got giant ants. They're also bugs, but ants. And they tell you there's no market value for giant ant eggs because it's gross. And I don't think the writers understand people's willingness to eat disgusting things. If people pay to eat fish jizz, then giant ant egg omelets are what's for dinner. Also, look at the ant pic they provide you. Is it supposed to make me scared of the ants? The guy's like, "Hey Bill, look at all my friends." Yeah, I imagine the guy is a dumbass. And Bill the fighter is like, "I'd play too, that's kinda cool, but my mega crotch bulge is slowing me down." The ants look concerned about the bulge, and I'd be too if it can distort metal like that. So then we have apes. You know apes. This. There's also carnivorous apes, which have a hunger for human flesh. And just human flesh. I mean, it very clearly says human flesh, so does he just go after humans? Maybe you're thinking, hey, it's just poorly worded, and the writers meant meat. No, fuck you, it's man flesh. Call your DM out on that bullshit if he attacks any other race with this walking piece of shit. I mean, look at his toes. Toes don't look like that. They don't come in 5 equal length sized nuggets. And why is he so small? He looks weak. It's pathetic. I hate him. And finally, for this week's grand finale, there's Axebeak. And it's stupid. It's an ostrich with an axe-shaped beak. Wow, it's terrible. You know it's stupid, so they try to explain how it's a prehistoric creature. Like, hey, it's not our fault, it's a real thing. And I say, don't blame God for your mistakes. You put it in the book. Leave Mother Nature out of it. And while you're at it, put in Hammerbeak and Sawbeak too. And go fuck yourself, Beak. It has Vorpal Blade middle fingers. Yeah, now that's shit.